All eyes are on that battle for the 4th spot between Sydney, Canberra, and Geelong. Sydney and Canberra, their destiny is in their own hands, whereas Geelong need a couple of results to fall their way. But I tell you what, Ben, either way you look at it, it feels like it is finals time already.
Yeah, final before a final. It has that feeling tonight as we have a look at a team that could be finals bound. A few things need to go their way, but the UC Caps, Laurie, are one of the form teams in the WNBL. 4 wins from their past 5 games.
Well, and their next few games, 3 are very winnable, and then that game against Bendigo. But they will be without Horvat, who is out for the rest of the season. That'll really hurt them.
Yeah, it will be. It's a big loss, and Paul Goris spoke during the week about how big a loss Chantel Horvat will be. India Boya will get another start for the UC Caps, but they've been led superbly like they were last season by Jade Melbourne, and she etched her name further into the WNBL record books last week with a stunning triple-double.
Well, and doesn't she enter those record books with the legends, some of the legends of our game, and Kristen Veal and Michelle Timms, but 15 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists got her awarded Player of the Week for that round.
She was awesome, to say the least, and she got a rebound with just a few minutes to go. She was interestingly fouled out immediately after she got that rebound as well. But she will play a big role today, and as Laurie mentioned, joining the likes of Michelle Timms and Kristen Veal as the only WNBL players to have 2 triple-doubles in their career. That is some great company that Jade Melbourne is alongside. Let's turn our attention, Laurie, to the Sydney Flames. We talk about the good form the Caps are in. The Flames, though, have lost 5 of their past 6.
Well, they have, but again, if we look ahead, very similar to Canberra, they've got 3 winnable games, and then that game against Townsville. So the destiny, as you said, is in their own hands, but they need to start off that destiny by winning tonight.
That is absolutely crucial as well. Guy Malloy said during the week it is good that he likes the proposition of having their destiny in their own hands, and that's certainly the case tonight. No Yamaya Morris again, no Emma Clark for the Sydney Flames tonight. As we have a look at Shanice Swain, who we have a look at a lot in our WNBL coverage, but after her 40-point demolition against Townsville last week as well, if she gets hot tonight, she's going to be a headache for the Caps.
Well, even taking away that 40-point game, her averages for the season are so consistent, 17 points. She makes at least 3 threes a game, but that 40-point haul that she had last week, she shot the ball at 64%, made 7 threes. She was absolutely on fire.
Yeah, and interestingly, 21 of those 40 points came in the final quarter alone, where she was jacking it up because she knew she had the hot hand. So she's joining the likes of Sarah Blitzarves, Liz Cambage, and Sammy Whitcomb as the only WNBL players to have 40 or more points in a game in the past decade. So we're all in readiness now for a start at the AIS Arena. Caps fans in the house. Referees for tonight, Jack Taylor, Carlia Hanks, and Ethan Tulk. They will be overseeing proceedings, and it will be hot.
Well, I'm sure the fans know the importance of this game, so they'll be on the edge of the seat. The players, both teams, the coaches, everybody knows the importance of this game. Right now, Sydney lead 1-0. They played each other in round 1, so this game will determine a long ways as who has head-to-head.
Underway here at the AIS Arena. Great to have you with us wherever you're watching around the planet. Collier catches in the key, guarded by George, and gets the lucky roll for our opening bucket.
I like the idea of Canberra attacking George. George is really their only legitimate tall person out there. Sydney have really had to play some small ball, so George is going to have to stay on the court for 40 minutes.
Pick and roll here, Swain and George responds with our own 2.
Great response from Kayla George.
That's the starting 5 for the Caps. Potch, Collier, Munger, Melbourne, and India Boya getting her 3rd start of the season. Melbourne goes to work. So good.
Canberra do a great job of getting their feet in the paint or making a pass into the paint.
Brancatisano getting the start here for the Flames. She has the Spalding now. George feeds Swain. She puts it up for 3 and was well off target. Good strong defense there from the Caps. First missed field goal of the game. Melbourne starting to find some rhythm in this season in recent times. Boya aggressive. We saw how deadly she can be from three-point land last week. She was trying to drive on that occasion. Swain thought about the three, then did, I suppose, the most economical thing and drove inside for two.
Well, it was a really good decision by Swain. Her defense had sort of gone to try and anticipate getting a pass and had overplayed it. And she found herself wide open at the 3-point line, but also a wide open driving lane.
4-piece here at the AIS Arena. Melbourne puts it up for three.
What a great way to start her campaign in tonight's game, Jade Melbourne.
Early triple for her. At the other end, Swain lobbing it up and gets that one to drop.
Good job, Swain. She was a left-hand drive. She quickly switched it to her right hand and finished strongly, but there's another strong drive by Munga.
That was impressive. Really lifted her output and thriving with the extra court time and getting the starts in the past 6-7 games, Nicole Munga. Taylor for George. Bit of a mismatch there on Munga, so she backs down and kicks it out. Brand Catasano in and out, looked all right off the hand. George kept it alive. Brand Catasano for Swain for three.
Wow, that is great teamwork by Sydney. Kayla George, she was blocked out, but she stretched out as far as she could, then found her open teammate in Brand Catasano, and she made the extra pass to Swain in the corner.
Early promising signs. Jade Melbourne and Shanice Swain, both 5 points apiece, both with a triple early. As Melbourne goes to work, hits the two and can make it three.
That's something that Sydney's going to really have to pay attention to. Dribble penetration by Canberra. They do a great job. They get themselves to the line really well, and that's something that you can't have. You've got to be able to stop that dribble penetration.
An 81% free throw shooter this season is Jade Melbourne. What a 2024 she had, including being named the Paris Games 2024 Rising Star. She's a genuine star of this competition already. Only 22 years of age. Now, Dees has got some early court time here, but she has been called for a travel for the Flames. Speaking of young, exciting talents, that's Spotty Dees on screen. Actor Frankston, only 18 years of age. Seen glimpses of her potential so far this season. Melbourne again stepping back, this time well off target.
Just use that high on-ball screen, that horns action there. Her defense was sagging off, so she took the opportunity to take the shot, just wasn't able to connect.
Tapia, Taylor, George, Swain. 8 to shoot. It's a long attempt, and it is a beautiful shot.
Kayla George trying to get her teammate open. She did a good job there of holding that screen.
She's got 10 points already. Boya pulls the trigger on her three-point attempt and can't get it to go. And Shanice Swain is looking ominous early stages here in the nation's capital. Taylor, she pulls the trigger. And an easy rebound in the end for Boya. Melbourne at pace, into the lane. She is showing no fear. Driving in the paint at the moment. And almost an alley-oop there between Taylor and George. Second chance, George banks it in.
Kayla George is certainly making her influence felt on this game so far.
She's got the 4 points. A couple of early field goals for her. Poch trying to get inside. She does. And the lucky roll for Nadia Poch.
Really nice poise by Poch. It looked like she was going to try and kick the ball back out to the perimeter, realized what the defense had done and was able to step through. But Kayla George trying to fire from deep. We know that she's capable of that.
Boya hands it off for Poch. That's a tough attempt. And that is deemed off the hands of Collier for the Caps. So Flames baseline ball, but high octane start. 28 points we've seen already in 5 minutes of action.
Well, both teams are really pushing the pace, getting the ball up early, forcing the defense to have to match up and take care of business right from the beginning.
Swain is feeling it. Gets the roll. 13 for Swain.
You can't even think about going under with Swain. And if you are going to switch, it's got to be an aggressive switch. If she finds any space, she is going to shoot it.
Melbourne trying to work around the Collier screen here. She goes behind the back, takes on Dees, kicks it out to Boyer, who loves a three.
There has been some phenomenal three-point shooting so far in this game, Ben.
Caps 2 of 3. The Flames have hit 3 themselves. And Tapia can make it another. It is flying from deep, and both teams connecting.
Well, how entertaining for this crowd at the AIS Arena.
Munga trying to switch it out there to Poch. Signet, stay powered with Signet, Australia's favourite power bank brand. Keep your devices charged and never miss a moment. Visit signet.com to find your perfect power bank. Collier taking a seat. Abby Bishop is on the floor for game number 285. The Caps hit the scoreboard again.
Well executed out of bounds play for the Capitals. Munger coming off a couple of screens there, really ready to catch and shoot.
Speaking of catching and shooting, George misfires, but Dees gives Sydney a fresh 14. Jump ball is called. Munger held on long enough to force the referee to blow the whistle. Dees almost ripped it away to get a clean look for the Flames, but nonetheless it is a Flames ball with 9 on the shot clock. Swain with 5 to shoot, almost stolen by Potch. She's going to have to put up a prayer here or get inside, off balance. Can't get it to go. And Dees, well, did well to compete there with Melbourne. It was able to, well, it meant that there was no clean exit on defense there from the Caps.
Well, Dees did a great job. Just the effort, second effort by Dees just caused the fact that Melbourne then had to flick the ball and able to get a jump ball situation or arrow their way.
Katie Diebel on the floor. She was really impressive last week against the Lynx, particularly in the second quarter. Real fine for them. Correction against the Flyers. The Caps, as Diebel now pulls the trigger on a high-range attempt that had nothing but oxygen. Swain up to 13 points already. Diebel playing tight defense on her. Tapia, Taylor. Big screen there from Tapia off the ball. Swain works away inside, sees parted for her. 15 in the first for Shanice.
Just a great little hesitation dribble, reading what the defense was doing, then reacting when they opened up. She's having a phenomenal first quarter.
Munger. This three-point show continues in Canberra.
Well, we knew this would be a close, or at least we hoped this would be a close game, and we're certainly getting all of that this first quarter.
Dees. She went for the long-range attempt. And now Melbourne sprinting and tumbling and throwing it in the faces of Tapia, who copped it. And Melbourne was fouled on her way through.
Well, one of the things that Jade Melbourne prides herself is not only the assists that she makes, and we saw that she was #1 in the league at 7.2, but she wants to push the tempo.
Yeah.
She wants to get the ball up the court. She went flying there, but she certainly, that was an example of it. Whether she pushes it to try and get to the rack herself or pushes it and creates plays for others, that's the style that she likes to play, and she certainly is very, very good at that.
Canberra coach Paul Goris on the screen. His 7th season with the Caps. Recent championship coach as well. Melbourne completes both. The Caps holding a 2-point advantage. Little separating these two teams on the WNBL ladder. Little separating them on the scoreboard early stages. How about this for a matchup? George v. Bishop. Two greats going at it. And George with the reverse.
Well, they would have played against each other, probably played with each other over the course of their careers.
Here's Babongi. She hits the floor, immediately makes an impact, sets up Diebel.
Wow, And the three-point shooting continues.
What a display of offense from both of these teams in this quarter. Pittman on the floor as well for Sydney. Feeds Taylor. George, guarded by Bishop. Out for Tupea. Beautiful pass inside for George. Those two have great chemistry on the floor. Does Canberra get the stop though? Potch saw an opening inside, is fouled, count the points, and she can make it a three-point play.
Her athleticism was on display there, where she just ran the floor and just wheeled and dealed inside. Look at the height she got on that layup. What a great finish.
A great season for Nadia Potch, coming over from the Southside Flyers. 11 points last week. In her previous 3 games before that, 20, 27 and 12. So she's finding form at the right time of the season for the Caps. Completes the three-point play, and they've got 30 in the first. Swain back on the floor. And a quick break. And Diebel playing tight defense here, but Swain still good enough. What a show she's put on, and it's only near quarter time.
Well, somebody's got to go put their hand up and say, I want to try and stop Shanice Swain because she is killing it.
Melbourne with the left hand. She's gone to that move a fair bit in the opening stanza. That one didn't come off. Swain up to 17. She's 7 of 9 from the field. Brand Catasano free for 3. Scrap off the glass, and it's deemed a Sydney ball. We saw Steph Gorman last week against the Flames really take responsibility from a Lynx perspective for Shanice Swain, and Swain was held to the 9 points. Katie Diebel, early stages since she's come on, looks like she wants to, she's going with her right now, wants to try and guard Swain closely. Let's see how that pans out. Swain, Taylor, 4 to shoot, has to put it up, and does, and connects. 5-second differential between game clock and shot clock. Melbourne hovering at the halfway point of the court. Big screen there from Bishop. Brand Catasano hit the deck. Bishop was left alone. Can't hit the 3. Flames can have the final say of the quarter. George wants to feed Swain. Does feed Swain. And she lost control. And it goes out of bounds with a couple of seconds left on the clock.
And Sydney will have an out-of-bounds play that they've practiced at training before when there's this amount of time left on the clock. So really, it's just a catch and shoot.
George catches, gets it off. It's flat, and it's off target. What a start. An important game in the scrap for 4th spot, and it's been a cracking contest today. Caps 30, Flames 28. We'll take a short break and come back with second quarter action on the other side of this.
There we go, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Give a big round of
Quarter time here at the AIS Arena. The Caps 30, the Flames 28. We'll have a look at some of the first quarter highlights, Laurie Chiswick, and there is no shortage of highlights from that first quarter. The point guards, the star point guards going to work. Jade Melbourne and Shanice Swain. 10 for Melbourne, but 17 for Swain at the end of the first.
Well, what I really like from both teams is that, one, they've both taken care of the basketball. Canberra have 0 turnovers. Sydney only have 1. But it's the way they're scoring, so they're getting their feet in the paint, they're driving it hard, but also both teams are just nailing it from that three-point line. The Caps right now are 66%.
Yeah.
So they're really mixing it up. They're reading what the defense is giving them, but Shanice Swain really owned that quarter with 17 points. And as I mentioned, who from Canberra is going to put their hand up and say, let me take Swain. I want to try and stop her.
I suppose that an important stat as well for the Flames, they are the #1 team in the competition for turnovers, Laurie. 0 turnovers committed by them. One turnover
exactly.
committed by them in that first quarter. And that was Bonnie Dees who travelled.
So high-quality game when you only
Yep.
have 1 turnover between 2 teams.
Taylor, George, as we get underway here in the second. Beautiful pass from George. Great timing. Taylor rewards her with the 2.
Really good cut from Taylor, cutting around Kayla George, getting her arms up early, knowing that that pass was coming.
For Bongi, for Collier. Releases and nails it. Having a good season, Charlie Collier. Averaging the 13 points per game. And there's a turnover. This time committed by the Flames, as if on cue. Double team there on Jade Melbourne, so the chance here for Babongi. Might have just stepped back over the other side of the court.
Interesting. I'd like to see a replay of that. I didn't think it was.
No.
I'm sure Paul Goris would like to see a replay of that as well.
Brancatisano cuts, but it didn't come off. Diebel again taking responsibility for Swain, but Swain is still finding a way through.
So she needs some help.
Yeah.
If she has to play up and into her because she's shooting the ball, the 3-ball so well, that if she does go by her, she needs some help from her teammates. Get the ball out of her hands. Let somebody else score.
Collier. She put up the 3, can't get it to go. So the Caps are 4 of 8 from three-point land. In the corner is Brancatisano, catches and works her way inside. Now Taylor from deep, can't connect. A couple of early stops for Canberra. Behind the back goes Melbourne, kicking up the tempo again. Collier striving and driving and scoring. Good start to the second quarter for Charlie Collier. A couple of field goals for her. She's perfect from the line, from the field, as Boya hits the deck after contact. The foul is called on Boya, but she's come off second best.
Could just be a knee in the quad that just is
Corky?
a bit of a stinger.
Yeah.
But have a look at when Sydney's moving the ball around, how Diebel is playing on Swain. So she's trying to deny her the ball. She's not in help position at all with her other teammate. She is trying to keep the ball out of her hands.
George still feeds Swain. 8 to shoot for Shanice Swain. Collier does come to help, and it pays dividends, doesn't know. Swain still good enough to find Pittman for the 2.
Such good vision by Swain, and just lost vision of their player. Otherwise, that was a really good tactic by Canberra.
Babongi gets into the paint, rattles in for 2. Big game from Monique Babongi last week against Southside. 17 points for her. Pick and roll actions, Swain and George.
Well, they might as well just keep going to that 2-man game because they are hard to stop.
And a quick turnover here committed by the Caps. Pittman for Taylor. Brancatisano wants it in the corner. Taylor goes herself in the end and draws the contact for 2. She is holding her knee. Might have just banged it on the floor after receiving that contact.
Well, we see the opposite to what we saw at the start of the game, with now it's Sydney who are really looking at their dribble penetration, their driving, getting their feet in the paint, either kicking it out to a wide open three-point shooter or going up strongly off 2 feet. And that's what Canberra were doing early, and now it's Sydney's turn.
So Celeste Taylor will head to the charity stripe. 64% free throw shooter. It was a tough afternoon at the office for the Flames against Perth last round, but Taylor was one of their shining lights. 18 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists.
That's Jade Melbourne's second foul, so she's going to have to be careful because they certainly need her on the court.
Here's Melbourne, guarded closely by Brancatisano. Crossing over superbly. And almost a no-look pass.
Nice pass.
Party tricks the Potch.
Whoa, there was too many things happening in that possession with Jade Melbourne.
We are seeing
star.
2 of our best point guards in the country putting on one mighty fine display. And they're guarding, well, it's Melbourne guarding Swain here. Taylor. Aggressive inside. Munga almost ripped it away. Taylor puts it up. Good defensive set there from Canberra. And Brancatisano touched it last. It's a Caps ball.
Well, I think at quarter time, they must have talked about that on ball with Swain coming off of it, that they had to show hard or at least even double that, because they've done a much better job at keeping it, you know, not letting Swain just go off.
They were being asked to do a lot defensively. Had a crack at the hoop there, missed with the left. And Swain, this time guarded by Potch. And she finds George, who catches, but there were 4 Caps ready to pounce. And Melbourne picked up the crumbs. Munga in rhythm, falling well short.
I don't mind that matchup of Swain and Potch. Potch has such a long reach.
And Potch is guarding her closely here, but Tapia in the meantime is able to get 2 and can make it a 3-point play.
Again, dribble penetration. She stops strongly. Tapia, we know that she can shoot the 3-ball, but she's got such high IQ. She reads the defense well, and she's strong. So she used that strength and that tenacity to finish that shot, and now finds herself at the foul line.
Make sure you're following all the live stats of today's game in the free WNBL app. Also check out game highlights, team info, player info, and more. So download it from your app store today.
Okay, I didn't want to say anything, but she is now 17 from 17, 100%.
I was worried last week in the call with Britt Smart that we jinxed Tapia a lot, but she's a mighty fine free throw shooter. Potch for 3, and Tapia showing off her strength there. Good box out. George, a rare turnover. Boyer pounced. And the cavalry arrives to lend a hand. Here's a mismatch. Collier on Tapia. Collier gets 2 and can go to the line for an extra. Charlie Collier with another field goal in his second quarter. It was, well, both teams doing damage from the 3-point land in the first quarter, but Collier has owned the paint in the second. She's up to 8 points, can make it 9, 70% free throw shooter so far this WNBL campaign.
You can see Paul Goris there intently calling a few plays from the sideline, talking to Melbourne, giving her some little more instructions.
Back in the Canberra coaching box this season, and a man who knows all about what it takes to get in the finals and win finals as well, as Canberra push to knock out Sydney in 4th spot in this tight WNBL run home. Caps hit the lead. And there's a double team here. And George is left open for 3. Instead, Brancatisano hits it, loves the corner attempt. Didn't come off this time. Pittman offensive rebound. Foul called on the Caps. Yeah, Munga called for the foul on that occasion. Third team foul on Canberra in this quarter. Swain off the floor at the moment. Kalia is having some minutes. Linking up with George and Tapia. Kalia has to put it up, look flat off the hand. Munga just fumbled, causes a bit of a rush, but numbers went out. There were 3 caps ready, including Melbourne and Munga. Munga's already hit a great 3, works away into the paint. No lucky roll. George was, in the end, arguing a case with the referee for contact. Pittman, seas parted, and it went through for Carla Pittman. Such great minutes off the bench this season for the Sydney Flames. She's got 4 points in this one.
The other thing about Pittman, I think she's a very good defender when she comes on the court.
Potch, aggressive. As she tried to get into the paint, draws the contact. Pittman call for a foul on that occasion. As a timeout is called here at the AIS Arena, the first timeout of this contest. The Flames 42, leading the Caps 41.
Well, I read an article with Guy Malloy and talking about the importance of this game, and he likes the fact that the destiny is in their own hands. They've got head-to-head over Geelong. They've got 1 win over Canberra, so he just felt with the consistent effort, and if they stick to what he calls the pillars of our game style, he knows what this group is capable of, and he's really confident in what they can do.
Calling all sports teams, say goodbye to travel headaches and hello to CTM Sport, who are 100% committed to delivering excellence in their field. Leave the logistics to the travel experts so your athletes can focus on what they do best. Learn more at ctmsport.com.au. And they've earned, even though they have lost 5 of their past 6 games, the Flames, Laurie, they've earned their spot. They had a terrific start to the season. Injuries have started to catch up. If you're just joining us now, no Emma Clark again today due to a knee injury. No Yamaya Morris. Coincidentally, Morris was the player they brought in because Diddy Richards was injured before the start of the season. Certainly know after the Townsville game last week, Guy Malloy just looked bereft with just another injury blow after Yamaya Morris. It is testing times, but they're standing up early stages in this contest.
Well, when you think about they played each other in round 1 where Sydney won comfortably by 17 points. They had Michaela Roof, who had 25 points, 10 rebounds. They had Morris there. Canberra didn't have Tapia or Bishop, so it's a really different look since the last time these teams matched up.
Well, Chantel Horvat, not only tonight for the Caps, but for the rest of the season. Guy Malloy calls for movement from the bench. Pittman moves inside, kicks it out for Kalia, who went up for the 3 and misfired. Potch with aggression. Poetry in motion. Potch going through the lane there.
Yeah, she'd be disappointed in missing that one. As you say, the seas parted.
Yeah. Kalia. Pittman just caught it inbounds. 8 to shoot. Tapia, she's a great 3-point shooter. That one well off target. And after 58 points alone, well, between the two teams in the first quarter, scoring has slowed down a little bit. Potch disappointed, no foul call on that attempt.
Well, Kalia did a great job of coming across past the split line, recognizing that she had a clean lane to the basket. Really good defense.
Brancatisano turned it over. Been so good with the basketball tonight, the Flames so far. Melbourne on the floor. Collier for 2. She can't connect. Bit of an arm wrestle of a second quarter after a 3-point shooting bonanza in the first. Brancatisano, another turnover. And the Caps can pounce through Melbourne. And then she missed the easiest layup, the easiest shot in basketball.
It's a couple of baskets now that they really were gettable. They should have made.
Flames get away with a couple. Can they capitalize? George reversing. Turned their body away from the basket to reverse and almost dropped in. Melbourne kicks up the tempo. Boya inside for Poch. Good defense. Brancatisano, no call. Caps fans not happy. Brancatisano catches, sees an opening. Beautiful bounce pass for Kalia. Nothing dropping for either side at the moment.
Compared to that first quarter and even the first bit of this second quarter where baskets were coming at every opportunity, things have totally dried up with a minute and a half to go.
Munga in the corner. Can't break for Drought. Couple of minutes of pointless basketball here. George calls for Kalia to go left. He's up with Brancatisano. George got rid of Collier. Again, Caps fans not happy. Neither was Collier. Collier screaming for it. It's in her direction. She catches and off balance, can't hit it.
No.
Had way more time than what she thought she did. High quality first quarter, second quarter,
well,
bit of a struggle.
13 points each, I think they've scored in this quarter.
Bronx cheers around the AIS Arena as an offensive foul is called on the Flames. Kalia called for the foul, just that elbow coming out.
Well, the thing is, Ben, is for a good 6 minutes there, Swain has sat,
yes.
and Capitals didn't take advantage of that.
She's only played the 13 minutes. She's only sort of equal third for minutes played so far for the Sydney Flames in this contest. The timeout is called. Caps 43, Flames 42. Which camp would you rather be in at the moment? It's kind of blow for blow in the first quarter, miss for miss in the second quarter. At least it's close. There's only 1 point differential, Laurie.
Well, that's right. I mean, I think defense did pick up. I mean, both teams were scoring at an incredible rate. I think they made some adjustments at quarter time, both teams, and so that's made baskets a little bit more difficult. But we saw Canberra miss a Potch, Melbourne miss two very, very gettable baskets, which, could prove costly at the end of this game.
Ford dealers are all about supporting the game here in Australia. From Ford Aussie Hoops to the WNBL, we've been backing Aussie sports and communities for nearly 100 years. So when you're ready to hit the court, your local Ford dealer is here to help you get to the game. Less than a minute remaining in this first half. Field goal percentage has taken a hit, to say the least, both teams in this second quarter. Caps ball, though, they lead by 1. Swain back on the floor for the Flames. Potch, fumble there, able to recover. Collier in the shining light in this quarter for both teams. Melbourne, full Ds, kicked it out. Munga, wide open. Still can't get that one to go. Potch came across and knocked it out of bounds.
That's the shot that Munga likes. She likes those corner threes, and she's had a couple there now, just haven't dropped. But she shoots the three ball at 39%, third in the competition, so she's got to keep taking those if she's open.
Swain hit the floor, as did George too, so 2 Flames went down. 9 to shoot here for Swain. Kicks it out for Taylor. Had very little room to move. Taylor, aggressive. No lucky roll for her. Players falling down everywhere. Melbourne goes down, Boya down, Taylor down.
Well, that is the desperation we're seeing from both teams when it comes to a block out, when it comes to just trying to get the ball scrap on the floor.
Foul caught on the Caps. Tapia and Melbourne jostling for it off the glass there. Timeout called. Barely saw a foul, barely saw a turnover in the first quarter. That script has really been flicked in this stanza. So we mentioned that Sydney only had 1 turnover in the first quarter. Well, they've had 6 in the second alone, and the Caps have had 4 in this second quarter. Melbourne hasn't scored. Swain only had the 1 field goal. Kayla George working hard off the glass, already has 8 points and 11 rebounds. You can see the Canberra bench there, and we saw it last week as well. Pretty handy acquisition, Laurie, to bring in a coach of the quality of Nat Hurst into your coaching group for the rest of the WNBL season.
Well, that's a really big pickup for Canberra. She's so familiar with the league, being the head coach of Adelaide for a number of years, so she would be able to offer some very good advice.
So Melbourne, speaking with referee Jack Taylor there, just moving away briefly from the Paul Goris huddle. Caps fans frustrated, and you sense Caps players and coaches frustrated as well. So free throws coming up here for Sydney. Caps in the bonus with that last foul. Melbourne with 2 fouls. Tapia, 17 of 17 from the free throw line, making 18 of 18 this season.
You're a brave man, Ben.
Now, I'll claim, Laurie, you went with the first on air tonight. Never in doubt. 19 of 19. So reliable. Flames take a 1-point lead. 9 seconds here. Diebel works away inside. Potcher's hit the floor behind the play. Diebel gets the 2. Potch limping. Caps take the lead at half time, but Caps players just getting to Nadia Potch, making sure she's okay. We'll keep our eyes on her as we head towards half time here. In good spirits, encouraging. Caps holding a 1-point lead. An arm wrestle in this scrap for 4th spot. Caps 45, Flames 44. Half time here at the AIS Arena.
Need the composure. Jackson blows the roof off. Wow, it's LJ the GOAT. There's Jackson again.
Well, that's something that they're going to have to take care of business.
Through every heartache, through every cheer, we won't give up till the final buzzer. We've never been more ready.
Need the composure. Jackson blows the roof off. Wow, it's LJ the GOAT. There's Jackson again.
Well, that's something that they're going to have to take care of business.
Through every heartache, through every cheer, we won't give up till the final buzzer. We've never been more ready.
Get closer to the game with the free WNBL app.
Clark with the N1!
Check out the fixture and grab your tickets.
What a finish to the 3rd quarter.
Catch game highlights, stay connected to your favourite player or team, and follow live game stats. Anytime, anywhere.
Cole cracks 2 more.
The WNBL app is where it's at. Download now.
Celebrating 50 years of sneakers?
What do you call a dinner that's ready in minutes and gone in seconds? A slam dunk. That's Latina fresh pasta. Tasty, fuss-free and Aussie-made. Latina. We got the weeknight.
Ford dealers have backed sport in communities for nearly 100 years. And now, from the Boomers and Opals to Aussie Hoops, your local Ford dealer is proud to support basketball. Because all dreams start somewhere.
Arena, where we are watching 4th v 5th in the WNBL ladder. We dubbed it pre-game a final before the final series, and it has all of those vibes here at halftime. It's the UC Caps 45, leading the Flames 44 in the nation's capital. Ben Waterworth with you, alongside WNBL Coach of the Year, former Opals assistant Laurie Chiswick. Laurie, a tale of two quarters in terms of how offensive and free-flowing the first quarter was. But then I suppose that the pressure of the stakes and of the game, you sort of sense that really took over in the second quarter.
Well, I think both coaches made some adjustments at quarter time defensively, and that certainly had an effect in that second quarter. But the desperation by all the players, I think the physicality's gone up another level. We saw bodies flying a lot, at both ends of the court. But Swain was kept to 2 points. She didn't play a lot of that quarter, so it'll be interesting to see how she comes out at the start of the third. But a good spread of scoring for the Capitals. Rebounding Kayla George, her 11 points. We know she's the biggest player on the court.
Yep.
She's doing her job, and wow, I don't think I could pick it at this stage.
So Kayla George almost on the brink of her 8th double-double, but all she wants is a win tonight for the Flames. Halftime here, Caps by 1. Let's look back at the plays of the round from last round.
Coffee already in a court touch early to Cox, and we get the first bucket of the night. Cox comes up with a big block.
Burden flies up the floor. Unbelievable, Burden.
Well, what a pass. What a platter for Soa. Third quarter not too far away here at the AIS Arena. It's the UC Capitals 45, leading the Flames 44. It was 30-28 at quarter time, Laurie Chiswick. And of those 28 points for the Flames, Shanice Swain had 17 alone in the first quarter. She only added 2 in the second. But as we mentioned pre-game, if she gets hot, it is mightily entertaining to watch, and we've seen how good she is in that opening stanza.
Well, as you said, she had 21 points in the last quarter against Townsville, so she's already got 19. I think Canberra did a better job in that second quarter of showing hard, so that they either switched or showed really hard so that she wasn't able to come off of that and just either shoot a 3 or find her way to the basket.
Because she can cause damage offensively in many ways. We did see her sit a fair bit of that second quarter on the bench as well. Of the full 20 minutes, she's only played, but she has played just less than 14 and a half minutes so far, so we'll keep our eyes on that. Compared to Kayla George, who we said pre-game would have to play a lot of minutes, and she is playing a lot of minutes. She's played all 20 so far in this game. You might notice as well today that players from both teams have a purple band around the top of their singlet. This band is a powerful symbol of support for survivors of domestic violence. This season, the WNBL, its clubs, its athletes, and the Players Association have united to raise awareness around this critical issue, because enough is enough, and a life free from violence is possible. And when everyone plays a role, real change happens. Learn how you can be part of the solution by visiting Full Stop Australia. Number, QR code on your screen right now.
If we just go back to Swain, she averages 27 minutes a game, and I think Guy Malloy does a good job of managing her minutes, because she, unfortunately, the only, X against her name is the number of turnovers, and when you get tired, that's the first thing that goes, is your decision making, your ability to make the right passes, and she turns the ball over. So I think it's a good idea to rest her in that first half, knowing that she could be needed right down the stretch at the end of the game, and so maybe that's why she was playing, had limited minutes in that third quarter.
She can get hot as well. You can see the GOAT of all time. It's at the bottom of your screen there, the great Lauren Jackson being interviewed on the court as well. Had a reasonable amount of success, it has to be said, on this floor throughout her WNBL career. Great to see Lauren Jackson in the house as well. As we have a look at the leading stats winners for the Flames, Kayla George on the verge of double-double number 8 in this WNBL season. 8 points and 11 rebounds. There she is.
This quarter especially, Ben, will all be about who can handle the pressure, because as the game goes on, the pressure, no doubt, is going to be building as the game is, if the game stays close as it is, because we know what's at stake here. We know head-to-head's at stake. We know 4 spots at stake.
Slick pass from Melbourne to Collier, and she didn't get the fortunate roll on that occasion. She was excellent in the second quarter. She's up to 9 points so far in this contest. To Pye, Brancatisano, Taylor. Wants a screen from George. Gets a screen from George. Shoots the 3. Can't hit the 3. Saw Potch's athleticism on display in that first half. And here she goes again. Missed the 2. And Tapia heavily met. Foul is against the Caps.
Yeah, Potch just needs to make sure she can, good idea to penetrate, but you have to be able to control it. And if the defense is there, to be able to stop, make a pass out to the perimeter, maybe repost up.
Swain trying to float it in, got her own offensive rebound, kicks it out for George, for Taylor for 3.
Great team basketball. Inside, back out, Kayla George making the extra pass to a wide open teammate. And there we see Munger driving it in. Draws the foul and finds herself at the line.
It was a late whistle. Nicole Munger able to draw the contact in the end. So Swain has 2 fouls to her name now. First Flame with multiple personal fouls.
Canberra did a good job on that three-point shot that was scored to just get the ball, inbound it quickly, run the floor, and attack the defense straight away.
Nicole Munger, game number 55 in the WNBL, her third season with the Caps. Played professionally in Spain, former University of Michigan captain, but what a pickup she's been for the Caps over the past 2.5 seasons. And a real find, both on the floor and certainly culturally off the floor. Very highly talked about. Taylor kicks it out. Brancatisano for George for 3. Back Taylor to hit that most of the time. Really wide open look there. Boya for Collier, who travelled.
Yeah, just caught the ball, dragged that pivot foot ever so slightly as she was putting the ball to the ground.
She goes big, Charlie Collier, in a game. She does.
Look at the matchup, Melbourne and Swain, and you'll see that Melbourne, once Swain passes the ball, she is still sticking to her. It's like playing 4-on-4 then.
Tantalising matchup. George, quick hands for Swain. Off balance. Can't get it to go. Potch had the body position there to bring down the rebound. Rebound number 6 for Nadia Potch. She's now shooting the 3 and nailing it.
That's a big basket because if you look at the scout, she only shoots the ball at 22%. So it was probably, you know, sag off, carry a hand, but let her shoot that, and she's just nailed it.
Team high 12 points for her. Taylor at the other end. Didn't have the angle. She wanted contact. Potch brings down the rebound. Playing a big game, Nadia Potch, as is Munger.
Oh, that would have brought the house down if that had gone in.
Caps with the response. The Flames got the opening points of the second half. Brancatisano, she pulls the trigger, and no fortunate roll for her. Aggressive hard rebound from Melbourne. Kicks it out for Boya. Munger. Collier wants to catch it, does catch it. Out for Boya. Caps moving the ball around, keeping it free-flowing as Collier draws the contact to Paya. Is called for the foul. The second.
Tapai was a bit unlucky there, although her one foot was just inside the charge circle, so maybe they took that into account.
Started and played in all 17 of the Caps games. Averaging the 13 points per outing 12 times. Had 10 or more points in a WNBL game. And you can now make that 13 with those completed free throws. Got 11 in this contest. Pittman on the floor. George to Paya. Into the lane. Look out. Pittman is missing. Paya so smart, able to draw the defense in. Pittman couldn't connect though. Caps now in offense. What a pass. Slick from Melbourne. And Collier can't hook it in. Couple of stops needed for the Flames. Good defense, tight defense from Munger. Forces out of bounds, 12 seconds on the shot clock.
I'm not sure if I'm seeing things, but either Kayla's just needs a bit of a breath. She's played the whole game so far. She looks just a little bit proppy that last time up the floor.
I reckon you're right. Taylor for 3. Can't get it to go. You know that the Flames, from a Tools perspective, haven't got a lot of love there as Melbourne comes up with a big-time 3 and force a timeout.
Yep, definitely force a timeout from Guy Malloy. Total momentum swing has gone Canberra's way right now.
Game high 8-point lead for the UC Caps Melbourne's first points since the opening quarter. She's got 13, including 2 of 3 from deep.
So what's interesting is when they're playing now Swain the way they are, so virtually they're not helping off, and as I say, it's almost like they're then playing 4-on-4, and it really can be disruptive for your offense when you're used to that 5th player, but they're not letting her catch it, they're not letting her cut easily, and it's really having an influence.
Foot Locker is celebrating 50 years of sneakers. Celebrate 50 years and the current hoop season by grabbing the latest kicks and apparel at your nearest Foot Locker, the official major partner of the WNBL. I reckon you're definitely right, Laurie, about Kayla George. She's limping quite significantly at the moment as the Sydney Flames get into position.
Well, we know how tough she is too,
Yep.
and she's not going to try and let anybody know that that's the case, and you know, there's just with Morris out, Roof out.
Yep.
It's really tough for her right now.
Seems to be favouring that right side, trying to pick and roll. Matched up here on Bishop, wants to catch it in the paint. McKenna Dale on the floor as well for the Flames. Swain goes to work. Taylor with 3 to shoot, finds a way, finds an opening, and finds the bottom of the net.
Really good take by Taylor, driving middle. Equally as good for Jade Melbourne.
She stepped it up, 15 points for Melbourne. Sensed an opportunity to really inspire her team. Back out to that 8-point lead. George. Still going to work down low, fading away, travelled. Guarded closely there by Abby Bishop. Turnover by the Flames.
It's great to see 2 legends of our game in Bishop and George out there guarding each other, and then at the other extreme of their careers, we've got Swain and Melbourne matched up.
Great.
It's fantastic. That's what the WNBL is all about. It's just we've got great young talent, and we have unbelievably great legends of our game.
Second foul on Pittman. 3rd team foul on the Flames in this quarter. Here is Melbourne. Got it from Bishop. The Wise passing to the new star. And Melbourne has come alive in this quarter. Swain, part of the new breed, rocking Aussie hoops at the moment, lays that in for 2. Boya was on the charge towards the offensive end of the floor, but the pass had a bit too much juice on it.
Well, Canberra, they are really taking care of the ball, you know, exceptionally well.
Yeah.
That was only their 3rd turnover for the game.
Swain v Melbourne. Swain propped up in the end and put up the 3. Melbourne went flying after the contact. Boya, Bishop, Boya and Melbourne. Now Boya got the screen from Bishop, wanting to kick it out for Diebel, who caught, and from the corner, in and out. Super unlucky. And Munga runs into the first couple of rows here at the AIS Arena.
I think that was halfway through the net before it popped back out.
Unlucky blow there for Katie Diebel, but 5 points for her. Already hit a 3-pointer earlier on in the contest. She's got game, Katie Diebel. Seen up the last couple of weeks, playing for the UC Caps. Swain wanted the foul call, but she'll take the 2.
Really good persistence by Swain. Jade Melbourne was all over her, but she wasn't going to have any of that.
Much needed field goal for the Flames. Boya, beautiful pass.
Nice little drop pass. Good movement off the ball by Munger. Just got herself to that dunker spot as her teammate was driving baseline.
Swain, George, 8 to shoot here for the Flames. Feeds Taylor, wants some space, gets the space and gets the 3 points.
Maybe it'll be her that lights up and carries this team on her back.
13 points for Celeste Taylor. Much needed field goal for the Flames.
Well, when they went down to Perth last week, Taylor had 18 points, so she's certainly capable.
Big shining light for them. 5 to shoot here for the Caps. Running out of time, running out of options. Boya has to put it up, and Munger gives them a fresh 14 seconds. Wanted that Spalding more than anyone else off the glass. Then goes herself for the 2, and then hits the deck. And Bishop gets the offensive rebound. I think there's a few tired bodies out on the floor.
Oh, I agree. Everybody's giving it all.
Melbourne desperate for some help. Might have to put it up. Off balance, 4-3. You are kidding me.
That wasn't bad defense from Brad Catasano, but it was just better offense by Jade Melbourne.
What a third quarter from Jade Melbourne. At the other end, the Flames can't respond. Melbourne has 10 in this third stanza. 20 for the game. Boya pulls the trigger. Taylor with the rebound. Back out to an 8-point lead for Canberra. 2 to play in the third. Taylor grits the teeth. Great shrewd move on the inside to get the 2.
Smart move by Taylor. She's continuing in her scoring ways. They can't exchange baskets now. Flames have got to come up with a few really good stops here. Put the pressure back onto Canberra.
Boya put the arm out to Pye, hits the floor. Good hand from Taylor again, forces the turnover. The Caps fans calling out trouble. Flames with the Spalding here. Taylor is taking it upon herself to put her team on her back.
She's the one right now. Get the ball in her hands. You can see that she's pumped up.
Tapia again hits the floor at the defensive end, as does Taylor. Bodies falling everywhere.
You would think this is overtime or the fourth quarter. We still have a quarter to go.
Tapia from way downtown.
Oh my goodness.
All nylon Talia Tapia. Flames within 1. What a fight back from Guy Malloy's side.
Well, they looked like they were struggling, 8 points down and just hardly hanging on, and now they're back within 1, largely on the back of Taylor.
Munger at the other end, can't get it to go. It's fair to say there's not a lot of desperation off the glass in the last couple of minutes, Laurie. There is a lot of fatigued bodies.
One and done, it feels like right now.
And we've still got a quarter to go after these 20 seconds. Tapia can't connect. Miscommunication between Munger and Bishop. Melbourne guards the Spalding.
One last shot left in this unbelievable quarter.
She's been the spark in this third term, Jade Melbourne. She's fouled. Points won't count, despite the spectacular finish.
Not a bad foul because she doesn't go to the line.
Yeah.
It was before the shot, so now it becomes a sideline ball with almost 5 seconds left on the clock, but you can see
that
everybody breathing heavily.
That shot of Jade Melbourne right there epitomises the feeling, I think, amongst the players of both teams at the moment. Melbourne comes off for a rest. Bongi checks in.
Just that extra 5 seconds rest before the quarter time break.
Bongi catches. Guarded closely by Brand Catasano. Has to put it up. And we are set for a grandstand finish. 2 points at quarter time, 1 point at half time, and 1 point at three-quarter time. The Caps 64, Flames 63. Fourth quarter coming up on the other side of this from the nation's capital. Fourth quarter action not too far away here at the AIS Arena, and it has been a tantalising contest so far. The Caps by 1, leading 64-63. Ben Waterworth with you, alongside a very excited Laurie Chiswick, and rightly so, Laurie, because these two teams desperate to finish inside the top 4, and it feels like we've got a thriller on our hands.
Well, we talked about how it really feels like a finals game, and it is. It is for one of these teams. If it's Sydney that wins, they will take the all-important head-to-head. If it's Canberra that win, well, then they split it, and they have a chance next round to take that head-to-head. So there's so much on the line here, and you can just see the desperation in the players, the way they're hitting the boards, trying to get deflections, diving on loose balls. They're exhausted already, and we still have a quarter to go.
It feels like the players would have really tried to soak up every second of that 2-minute break that they would have had just then, because there are a lot of hands on knees, not a lot of hustle off the glass late in that third quarter. You feel like, Laurie, it's going to be a bit of a battle of attrition in this fourth quarter. 64-63. Swain set this place alight in the first quarter.
Interesting, no Jade Melbourne on the court right now, just getting a little extra breath.
Tapia, good defense, Babongi forces the turnover. Straight up in the cylinder went the young gun, and Tapia lost control. Caps with an early stop. Deeble, Babongi, Boya, Collier catches. One-on-one with George. Might not be at 100%. Kayla George at the moment. Boya just stays inbounds, but then threw it away. Brancatisano kicks up the tempo and then retreated. There's your quarter by quarter. It has been close all night. Swain for 3.
Yep, she just found a space. She kept her dribble alive coming off that on ball. Found a little opening at the three-point line and took advantage of it.
Can the Caps respond at the other end of the floor? Collier, yes. All tied up. Awesome game of basketball we are witnessing. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you're watching on 9 Now. The battle for fourth, well and truly on display here. Foul call, turnover on the Flames. Taylor argues her case.
Again, that was a real aggressive show on that on ball by Potch, causing that turnover, and that's what they've changed at the quarter time break, and they need to continue to do that. We see Jade Melbourne has subbed back in, just had an extra minute and a half after that quarter break.
Swain up to 26 points. She's 4 of 9 from beyond the arc.
You can see that Brancatisano is sort of doing the same thing to Jade Melbourne, really putting the pressure on her.
That was brilliant by Tapia. She helped double team Collier and got the turnover in the end. Swain, great defense. Boya. Both teams showing off their defensive wares at the start of this fourth term. Melbourne steps back. Misses. $66 apiece.
What a game for this crowd to witness, and we know what great crowds Canberra always have. They've stuck by their team through thick and thin.
Deeble wearing Swain real close. Turnover. Canberra ball from their baseline.
I'm impressed with Brancatisano, how she's defending Melbourne.
Brancatisano straight back up. No fuss player is a Brancatisano, showing that now defending Melbourne. Potch, pick and roll here with Collier.
Great two-man game between Potch and Collier. Just simple basketball, rolling hard to the basket, get it up in the air.
15 for Collier. Tapia trying to feed Swain. We saw Swain take over against Townsville last week, but it's Talia Tapia on this occasion shooting. Off target. Boya thought about the three. Melbourne goes to work. Diebel.
Was the right idea with Collier rolling to the basket. She drew that extra defender. Diebel lifted out of the corner, was wide open for the shot. Just wasn't able to drop it.
Caps led by as much as 10 points in that third quarter.
What a comeback by the Flames, really, in the context of this game.
Flames were brilliant. Talia Tapia really inspiring them. Shanice Swain as well. Their two guards. We're busy. Swain, no travel call. Jump ball is the call. Big, strong defense there from Canberra. Flames argue their case. It is a Canberra ball with the possession arrow their way.
Well, Swain's got to recognize that there's a hard show now, and coming off of that on ball, perhaps retreat a couple of steps, see if they switch. She might have a bigger player on her then, where she can beat her off the dribble with her foot speed. But right now, you'd have to say the show is taking advantage right now.
Melbourne's head went back. She hit the deck along with Brancatisano. Foul is called on the Flames. It's been that kind of game. A lot of players hitting the floor. Refs have, from my point of view, Laurie, seem to have let the play go a lot as well.
Well, they have. I think it's. I think it's been physical at both ends of the court. I think they've done a good job of managing the game, letting the players play, let it flow.
Yep. 6 minutes, 15 on the clock.
At three-quarter time, Sydney had only taken 5 foul shots. So they're not, and we know that. They've had to go small ball, so they're looking at those perimeter shots a lot more.
They had 31 three-point attempts tonight, the Flames. Hit 8 of them. Here's Melbourne. Kicking it out for Boya, who loves a three. That's why. India Boya with a big-time triple as we tick towards halfway through this fourth quarter.
And she has just continued to improve and a good steal, good read by Jade Melbourne.
Melbourne one-on-one with Tapia. Tapia straight up, forced the turnover. And now Taylor's on the break for Swain. 28 for Swain. Flames within 3. This one going down to the wire. Potch left alone for the triple. Well off target. And Brancatisano met it first. Tapia feeds Swain again. Tapia cops some contact from Munga. Ref blows the whistle. Munga not happy.
Oh, I hope it's not her shoulder. She's had so much problems with that shoulder.
She's immediately come from the floor. Met here by Munga.
Oh.
It's that left shoulder. Hope it's okay.
Let's hope it's okay.
Right.
She has done such a good job with the Flames since coming from the New Zealand League in late December.
Taylor left alone for 3. Can't respond at the other end in the context of the game at the moment. Tapia coming off at this point is a massive blow. Boya works her way into the paint. Pittman lost her footing. Boya can't find it. And Collier is called for the foul off the rebound. George copping some contact.
I think these last 5 minutes are just going to be survival of the fittest. Seriously. Everybody is fatigued. It's physical out there. People are nursing bruises and sores. And
does it feel like, though, the Caps just have the slight edge at the moment, Laurie, or is it too close to call?
Well, I thought that at one point. I thought if they could push the ball right now, I think they have maybe marginally more legs left than Sydney. But having said that, I still like the way Swain's playing and moving, and I like the way Brancatisano is defending Melbourne.
Brancatisano trying to find Taylor. Had a second crack. Off the ball, Swain is free because her opponent in D-ball lost her footing, and Swain hits the three to tie things up. Canberra fans not happy, but Swain is owning this venue at the moment. Here's a look on replay, just missed it. D-ball there hits the deck. It just gave Swain 2 seconds.
And that's all she needs. She doesn't need any time to get that shot off. And she's got such a scorer's mentality, and you can see how pumped up she is. And so she should be with the game all tied up with less than 5 minutes to go.
Looking for a quick win in the kitchen? Latina fresh pasta will do the trick. It's easy, Aussie made, and seriously yummy for the whole family. What's not to love? Make dinner a slam dunk with Latina Fresh, proud sponsors of the WNBL.
We can see Tupaia there at the end of the vision with the Sydney team, and she's not going back on court at this stage.
Yep.
I would be surprised if we saw her for the rest of the game.
Yeah, big few weeks coming up for the Sydney Flames.
And Kayla George has done a great job to stay on the court.
Yeah.
We feel like she's got something happening with her during the game. She's just a warrior out there, Kayla.
She's played every second of this game so far. Kayla George stepping up in the absence of Michaela Roof and Maya Morris and Emma Clark, all out with injury.
14 rebounds she has.
71 apiece. This one is going down to the wire. Melbourne crosses over, kicks it out for Boya, for Munga, for three. Scrap for the board, and Poch comes up with it. Fresh 14 seconds for Canberra to work with here. And the ball is in good hands. Melbourne stepping back for three. Air ball. Taylor caught it cleanly. And what an opportunity now for Shanice Swain and the Sydney Flames. They've kept on challenging Canberra all night. What a pass from George.
Wow.
What a finish from Taylor. Flames in front.
Great combo, George and Taylor. We saw that play earlier. Run to perfection.
Now the challenge with the Caps. Munga immediately responds in the best way possible. 73 apiece. Less than 3.5 to go. This is a massive game in the context of finishing in 4th spot. Swain inside, back out for Kayla G for three!
Wow, Kayla George, but even better pass from Swain.
Hobbles back into the defensive end. Kayla George, she has been mighty in this game. Another double-double for her this WNBL season. Poch, Collier screaming for it. Poch takes it on herself, scores!
And one for Poch. She finds herself at the line.
This game living up to all expectations.
Just a nice little shot fake. Got the Sydney player, Taylor, up in the air and was able to be explosive, go around her on that first step.
14 points now for Poch. She's 3 of 3 tonight from the line prior to this shot. Now 4 of 4.
12 from 12 as a team. We always talk about how important foul shots are. Well, they're doing everything they can to make them.
76 apiece. Pittman's drew the contact from Poch, according to the referee. Second team foul on the Caps this quarter. Flames also with 2 fouls. Taylor cutting, but Potch likely got a hand in there for the Caps, and that was a crucial hand.
It really was. Otherwise, that was an automatic 2 points.
Big defensive play from the Caps. Jade Melbourne steps into the paint, kicks it out for Munger. And George, huge rebound for her.
Munger was in her favorite spot.
Brancatisano. Well, it was there, the shot was there. Bit too hot off the glass. And now Melbourne crossing over, works away and gets the lucky roll. Big field goal, Jade Melbourne. Timeout called at AIS Arena, which is humming. 78-66 in favour of the Caps. And again, Jade Melbourne coming up with a big bucket at the right time. Her first points of the fourth term, 22 for the game, 8 rebounds and 4 assists as well.
Well, Brancatisano had fallen to the ground at the other end when she attempted her layup, and it just gave for a split second a 5-on-4 advantage. Melbourne recognized that. Nobody picked her up early, and she was able to score that nice little mid-range floater.
So considering Kayla George might not be at 100% fitness, Laurie, Talia Tapia off with a suspected shoulder issue at the moment, although she's sitting down in front of Guy Malloy here, so she might be about to check back in. So what do you want to see from the Flames in particular out of this timeout, because they've had a challenge for Canberra throughout most of the nights?
Well, I think anything that can involve Kayla in the pick and roll, but instead of her popping, get her to roll, get her to attract attention, and then open it up for the Swain, the Tapia, the other shooters on the team. But if they don't go with her, then Kayla, get it up high to her, let her finish inside.
George up to 11 points and 15 rebounds. Swain 31 points, including 5 of 10 from three-point land.
Because they have to recognize, too, that with Swain coming off of the on-ball, say, with Kayla George, Canberra are looking to double that or hard show, so that might give George the opportunity, if she's able to, roll hard to the basket.
Here is George, feeding Swain, guarded by Melbourne, gets the screen from George. Arm came out. It's 2 free throws coming up for Shanice Swain. Foul on the Caps. Much to the disappointment, to say the least, of the home fans. Charlie Collier wanted the offensive foul. Instead, Shanice Swain is at the free throw line. She's an 84% free throw shooter.
She looks so comfortable at the line in this pressure situation. Minute 50 to go. 1-point ball game. Never in doubt.
All tied up with less than 2 minutes to go.
Don't you love the WNBL, the Signet WNBL? How good is this if this is a preview of the finals and what's to come?
A final before the finals here in Canberra. Potch, all ball there from Tapia, who's back on the floor. And then a foul is called on the Flames, and they're heading to the line, the Caps.
Potch was actually really lucky that that ball fell back into her hand after that first shot, and then she had the presence of mind to go up again when the defenders weren't really in the right position.
The Caps tonight have not missed from the charity stripe, including Nadia Potch. She's got 4 of 4, 15 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double for her tonight as well. She misses. First miss by the Caps tonight from this range. 2 misses. Collier follows up, and she will go to the line to shoot 2. Huge play, Charlie Collier.
This game has absolutely everything in it. Her and Kayla George battling for the boards there, then ending up both hitting the deck. Collier, she's a 70% foul shooter.
3 of 3 so far tonight. Pick 1 WNBA draft back in 2021. Experience all around the world. Italy, Israel, Poland, China. Big splash he's made here for the Caps in this WNBL season.
Well, she's got 15 points so far this game.
And just to build that tension a little bit more, the floor wiper being put to work and gets a round of applause. So Poch missed both seconds ago. What can Collier do at the line? Pressure does the wildest things in this game.
Oh my goodness, yes.
0 of 4 the Caps go from the stripe. In that passage of play right there. What an opportunity for the Flames.
I feel this game deserves overtime.
We might be getting it. Melbourne comes up, not quite with the clean turnover. She forced it out of bounds.
That's all you want. You want to get your fingertips to it, get a deflection. Now you can reset your defense with 11 seconds on the shot clock.
14 fouls for the Flames, 3 for the Caps in this quarter. Collier got a hand in there. But George regained control. Taylor has been deadly. Tapia didn't come up with the rebound. Foul is called on the Flames. 5th team foul of the quarter.
Well,
that is Tapia's 5th foul. She's fouled out of the game. Former Cap herself, Talia Tapia. Jade Melbourne will go to the line.
Well, there's 0 from 4, the last trips to the line.
81% free throw shooter this season. She's 4 of 4 tonight with that one. Caps by 1. A hush across the venue as Melbourne completes both. And the Caps bench rise to their feet as a timeout is called at the AIS Arena. And after some nervous moments from the free throw line, the captain stands up for Canberra. And what a captain's game she has played. 24 points for Jade Melbourne to go with 9 boards. And now all eyes turn to the Flames offense.
Well, Guy Malloy will be putting out a play, drawing up a play that gives him a few options. So he'll, whatever it is, if this is taken away, then they've got this option here. And then they'll talk about defensively what they want to do, whether, you know, time is of an essence now. Do they have to foul straight away? Do they have to send them to the line? Either way, such experienced coaches in Guy Malloy and Paul Goris.
So we've had 2 overtime games so far this season. Round 3, Geelong United and Adelaide Lightning went into a 5th stanza. And then Southside and Geelong United in round 7 also went into overtime. Remember, the last time these two sides met was back in round 1, and Sydney got the win 102-85. Considering the tight nature of this WNBL ladder at the moment between Sydney, Canberra and Geelong, Sydney win tonight. They get the split over Canberra. They've already got the split over Geelong United. They are in a really good position as we get right into the thick of the run home. Canberra win, and that is an almighty spanner in the works of what has already been an incredible WNBL season. Swain aggressive. She can't be stopped. Canberra call a timeout at the other end as Swain comes up with a big-time play.
It was a big-time play, and she just got nice and low. She got her head up on her target, and she used her strength just to go by Munger and the rest of the defenders and finish strongly. Great basket by Shanice Swain.
For all the fatigue issues that the players were having in the 3rd quarter, we're in the midst now of thrilling stop-start action. Timeouts called, players get to recuperate and re-energize.
Well, adrenaline takes over at this place, Ben. There isn't any fatigue in anybody right now.
Shanice Swain with that field goal up to 35 points. Scary thing, she's only 21 years of age. Plan at the moment after this season is to hopefully link up with the LA Sparks, the WNBA campaign. After her a couple of years ago.
If the Caps score, if Canberra score this time down the floor, they've actually got one foul to give. So if it looks like Swain or whoever is, you know, got a lot, as long as you do not foul them in the act of shooting, they've got a foul to give.
Potch catches. We're at 80 apiece. We've got 60 seconds remaining. Grandstand finish on 9 now coming your way. Good defense here from Sydney. No easy pass. Catasano stole it. Now pressure on the Canberra defense. Swain received it from Potch.
And a turnover by Sydney.
It has been unpredictable between these two teams all night, and it will remain that way until the final seconds of this game.
They're going to try and keep the ball out of Jade Melbourne's hands.
Boya, Collier, Catasano wearing Melbourne closely. Collier finds a way to get it to Melbourne. The young star. Can she step up from long range? She can't. It's deemed off the hands of the Caps.
So 2-second differential. Sydney can really work it around for the last shot of the quarter of the game. Canberra have one foul to give.
We're going down to the wire, and it is in good hands. Shanice Swain v Jade Melbourne. The two young stars going at it. Swain steps up, can't hit the three. Potch lets it go out of bounds. 1.8 seconds remaining. Timeout called by Canberra.
Well, smart timeout, obviously, by Paul Goris, because that means they can advance the ball, and they have 1.8 seconds to get it in. Maybe one quick dribble and a shot goes up.
Here's the last play. Swain lost Melbourne. Had a decent look for three. Well short though. And Potch let it go out of bounds, and it's allowed the Caps to reset here. What are you looking for, Laurie, from a Caps perspective?
Well, you just need to set something up where somebody can catch and shoot it. So it doesn't matter whether it's a two. You don't have enough time to catch it and drive it in. Probably they might even get it to Collier inside. You can see her subbing on right now. Yeah. Get the ball in the air to her, see if she can finish over George or draw a foul. But either way, you know, Sydney really have to make sure they switch everything so that they don't, you know, make it difficult for even a catch to take place. But Sydney just do not want to foul whoever catches it and shoots it. .8 seconds
remaining. 2 games so far this season in the WNBL have gone to overtime. Bishop will have the inbounds pass. Catasano wearing Jade Melbourne real close. Potch left alone. Misses.
No! What a well-executed play, Potch.
We are going to overtime. Nadia Potch had a real good look to win the game on the buzzer for the Caps. And now we're hitting in to a 5th stanza. She can't believe it.
Well, I'm glad that there's a smile on her face, because that, you know, you can't carry that over now. It's another 5 minutes left in this game, and you've just got to get on with it. But what a well-executed play by Canberra Capitals, and whatever the coaching staff drew up, it was executed to perfection.
So here's a look at some of the highlights from that fourth quarter. We saw some terrific three-point shooting at the start. Shanice Swain really did take over. She has 35 points in this game. Jade Melbourne with 24. Taylor with some big moments as well.
Well, considering how tired everybody was, it was a really high-quality fourth quarter.
Canberra fans have been treated to an awesome show so far, and there's another 5 minutes left, getting the definition of full value for money tonight with an extra period.
Jade Melbourne has 3 fouls. She's the only Canberra player that has that many fouls, and we know Tupaya's fouled out. Swain has 2 fouls.
Sorry, Laurie, here's a look. Here's the pass from Bishop. Oh. She was smiling as it dribbled off the ring. She gets a big hug from Munger straight away. Great work as a teammate there from Nicole Munger. And the Caps go again. The Flames go again. And this battle for 4th spot, we're still no clear on what it looks like.
We aren't, and you know, we wanted a close game. We knew it would be a game of desperation, and here we've got it, overtime.
We reset, we recommence, we go again. 5 minutes of overtime here at the AIS Arena. Flames with the basketball. Brand Catasano for 3. Beautiful three-pointer to get us underway.
Poised as anything, Brand Catasano. She's played such a big role in this second half of this game on her defense on Melbourne, and then coming off with that first basket.
Potch this time, misses again. That was Brand Catasano's first points of the game just then. What a time to come up with it. George, Pittman, trying to get around the George screen there. Potch closely guarding Swain. Great matchup here. Swain goes to work. 4 seconds to shoot. Taylor with a decent look. Can't connect. Collier brings down the rebound. And still Kayla George is out there. She's played every second of this one. Melbourne had a foot inside the line.
She did. It was a long 2.
2 points for Jade Melbourne. 26 so far in this game for the captain. George pulls the trigger on the 3. Deadly from Kayla G.
Tell you what, she is a walking wounded, yet she can still get the job done. Rebounds defensively, nailing that 3.
Collier, aggressive inside, Taylor straight up. It's deemed a Canberra ball. Well played, Celeste Taylor down low. Collier wanted the foul. Oh, it came off her hand. It was rather got contact from the Caps on her hand. 8 to shoot, Munger misses. Big stop, Flames. 2 3-pointers and now a stop to start overtime.
Canberra really need to come up with a good stop here.
Swain kicks it out for Taylor. Thought about going to Pittman. Eventually did. Pittman fouled by Jade Melbourne. Her 4th personal foul.
So Sydney are doing a really good job right now of getting the ball through hands, shifting the defense. Therefore, when it comes to a penetration, defense isn't exactly where they should be, as we could see that instance with Jade Melbourne.
Carla Pittman is an 83% free throw shooter. What a season she's had off the bench for the Sydney Flames. Stepping up now with Talia Tapia fouled out of the game. Connects on both, and the Flames lead by 6. It is the Flames' biggest lead of the entire game. Contact, no call. Melbourne misses the 3. And another stop for Sydney. It's knocked away by Munga, but the Flames can reset with 21 on the shot clock.
Well, Canberra just have to make sure they don't panic right now. Yes, there's a 6-point margin, a couple of threes. They need to come up with a stop here.
Oh, 8-second violation. Swain didn't get in the front court in time.
Great defense by Potch. I wasn't even looking at the clock.
Those 3 seconds after the initial defensive rebound, coming back to bite the Flames there. They called for a big stop for the Caps. That's about as big as it gets. Tense times for even the most experienced coach. Potch, third time lucky, drives, scores, and can head to the line as well.
Big basket by Potch, and good to see she's missed a couple. She missed some free throws, that she is still taking that mentality of I've got to score. It was wide open, that driving lane, and wow, did she finish strongly.
Missed the last 2 free throws, takes a couple of deep breaths. She makes it a 3-point play and a 3-point ball game. Players, coaches, fans all know the stakes that these two are playing with. Quick hands from George. Swain went herself. Brancatisano was free in the corner.
Yeah, just a little bit off balance. Swain, she's having to work so hard just to get herself open, get herself the ball. As is Jade Melbourne with Brancatisano on her.
Melbourne wide open for 3. Flames breathe a sigh of relief, and they just get away with one there. A little sloppy coming out on defense. Brancatisano can't hit the 3, and Collier wraps her arms around the Spalding like her life depended on it. A foul is called on Brancatisano. That is her 4th personal foul, and Potch sums up how we're all feeling right now.
That's exactly right.
Takes a deep breath. The Caps.
So she goes to the
regroup.
line.
To draw her team back within 1 point with 2 free throws to come. She's one of the most exciting talents in the WNBL. And even in high pressure times, you can all afford to smile. 1 of 2. 2-point ball game. Kayla George continues to fight on. Taylor finds some room. Great defense. India Boya forced a tough shot. And what an opportunity now for Melbourne and Canberra. That is Jade Melbourne and the University of Canberra Capitals. 7 to shoot. Melbourne drives hard with aggression and scores. We're all tied up again.
Great use of the re-screen by Jade Melbourne. She just showed so much composure there. Waited, read what the defense did. They parted, and then she finished strongly on the left.
Timeout call. Jade Melbourne takes her tally to 28 points for the match. Coming off a triple-double last week. 15 points that game, but she's doing a lot of damage on the scoreboard herself tonight with plays like this. Just found an opening. And the Caps bench, rightly, is pumped.
Well, Caps have done a great job because they got down by 6 points just a few minutes ago in this overtime, and it was looking pretty ominous. Sydney were feeling pretty good. Then a couple of turnovers, a couple of good stops, a basket. Potch finishing that free throw, and then that layup by Jade Melbourne. Oh, this game has everything.
Hard to know which way to look. So Jade Melbourne, who started the season so well, she had 4 20-plus point games in her first 5 matches this season, 1 since then, but tonight a season high, 28 points for her. But the job is not done. We have 1 minute 13 seconds remaining, and these two teams still can't be split in overtime.
Both teams, all the players, the coaches, the fans, everybody has just given it all in this game.
Caps fans find their voice. What can the Flames do on offense? George just catches. And Taylor given the responsibility to create. Can't get the 2. George, awesome off the glass. Brancato, Taylor hits it!
Wow, Kayla George, thank you for that effort, that second effort, getting that offensive rebound.
Incredible from Kayla George. Composure from Celeste Taylor. Final minute of overtime. Melbourne, Bowyer, Collier wants it. Melbourne has to go now. Steps back, steps inside. Potch for 3. Couldn't bank it in. Doesn't quite get the offensive rebounds. She was desperate. And now Flames in position A. 34 seconds remaining. 10-second differential between game clock and shot clock. 3-point lead for Sydney.
Yeah, it's got to be a stop for Canberra, a big stop for Canberra.
Flames will try to use up as many seconds of the shot clock as they can. George, no one came at her. She went for the 3 and missed. And now the ball with the Caps.
They need a 3-point shot. They don't need a 2.
Potch lost control, and Swain came up with the steal, and the foul is called. Massive play from the Flames. Disappointment for Canberra. For Sydney is really now in position A.
Well, they certainly are, especially with Swain going to the line, an 84% free throw shooter. She's already scored 35 points tonight.
Misses. A little bit of a hope and glimpse for Canberra.
Well, if she does miss, they've got to get a block out and get that ball moving.
She just gets it. Heart in mouth stuff for Sydney Flames if you're watching it, fans at home. My word, the lucky roll for Swain takes her tally to 36. And we've got a timeout. But importantly for Sydney, a handy 4-point lead.
Well, they can virtually, they'll advance the ball, Canberra. It's got to be a quick shot. It can be a 2 or a 3 because they need 2 shots out of it. So Sydney just have to make sure they don't foul anything. Canberra need to get as quick a shot up as possible and then foul the Flames as soon as they get the ball.
Paul Goris and Guy Malloy address their respective sides. 2 very experienced WNBL coaches who've coached against each other for many seasons. They know the stakes. Caps really need to win tonight. Everything now has got to go right for Canberra.
Well, it's not over if they lose it, but they then lose head-to-head with Sydney. And so that means they have to finish a game clear, which probably means they then need to rely on Sydney to drop a game that they're not going to probably drop.
Yeah. That's where it starts to get a bit messy when you're starting to rely on other results to fall your way. Melbourne will have the inbounds pass.
Got to get it in.
Gets it into Mungo, who fumbles. Pittman, George, Swain puts it up for 2. Can't get it to go, but that is as brave and as mighty a win as you will see from the Sydney Flames. Undermanned, but in overtime, they claw their way to a remarkable 92-88 victory. And that puts them right in position A for a top 4 spot, and Guy Malloy rightfully not the most emotional man, but he is pumped.
He is. You don't often see that sort of emotion from him, but he would be so thrilled with his group, the adversity that they've gone through. You see Tupaya there. Hopefully her shoulder is okay, but it was just a mammoth job. And you have to feel for the Caps too. Such a great game in front of their home crowd. Wow, that had everything in it, Ben.
It really did. It is one of the games of the season, no doubt, that we've seen in the WNBL. The Caps were excellent. As we have a look at some of the top highlights from the game, Shanice Swain and Jade Melbourne will feature heavily, but it was a game, Laurie, that kept us guessing right up until the final minute of overtime.
Well, it did, and both teams had their moments when they'd get a slight lead, maybe 8 points, 6 points, and the other team would just come back, never gave up, and it was a real mixture of grit. We saw in that third quarter, the bodies were hitting the floor everywhere. There were just so much desperation, but some great inside play, some great three-point shooting. I'm sure the Capitals will miss, you know, those 4 foul shots in a row that they missed. They'll be thinking about that, but what a great effort by two teams that are battling for that 4th spot.
And you feel like it'll be a great learning night as well for Nadia Opoch, who's one of the most exciting talents in our WNBL competition. Missed that buzzer beater at the end of the 4th quarter. Unfortunately, just had that turnover late as well. She did so many things right tonight as well, but essential come away tonight from tonight's game, Laurie, with a lot of learnings.
Well, eventually.
Yes.
I think it'd be pretty disappointed right now, but certainly she was instrumental. She, 19 points, 11 rebounds. She should really hold her head high. And what a spread of scoring. Both teams, plethora of scoring. Kayla George ending up with her double-double, 14 and 17. And I don't know whether she's injured or not, but she was amazing.
As was Shanice Swain, a player that continues to take our breath away every time she steps onto the court. 40 last week against Townsville, 36 tonight. 17 of those, Laurie, came in the first quarter. But when Sydney often needed a response, often needed to take it up to the Caps, who might have kicked away, it was often Shanice Swain setting up the Flames from that perspective. And I think, it was just inspirational again for her team tonight.
What I like about her is when the game's on the line, she wants the ball in her hands. She wants to be the go-to player, and if she's not going to score, she still has the ability to release it. There's 6 assists we can see that she has, and so she's got a great game, a overall game. I think she had less turnovers than normal this game, which is good, but yeah, she's an awesome player.
So that's a win for the Sydney Flames tonight in overtime. And now our attention turns to the rest of this WNBL round 14, the penultimate round as well. It's Friday action, the Flyers and the Townsville Fire before a doubleheader on Saturday. The Lightning and the Lynx, and then the Caps have a chance to keep their finals hopes alive against Geelong United on Saturday before the Spirit and the Flyers do battle at Red Energy Arena. That was a fun game to call, Laurie.
Well, the Capitals, that's a big game, another big game against Geelong on Saturday. They'll have to be back up and, get over this disappointment. Their season is still well and truly alive, but what an absolute pleasure to watch these two teams go head-to-head in that battle for 4th spot.
On behalf of Laurie Chiswick and our entire hard-working team behind the scenes, this is Ben Waterworth signing off from the AIS Arena, where Sydney were gutsy and went the distance and got the win in overtime, and now are in a really good position to finish inside the top 4 this WNBL season. 92-88 winners over the Cats. Good night.
Wallace driving baseline. What a dive!
Wickham, how sweet was that? Step back three.
Wow.
Kayla George. She's got a flamethrower at the moment.
Shelley with a big triple.
It was acrobatic. It was impressive. It was Steph Talbot.
Jade Melbourne, the lefty lay in. Capitals continue to roll. Perth have been unconscious from 3. Alice Koenig connects.
She's pumped up, and so she should be.